Zimbabwe's debt restructuring, a necessary step or a publicity stunt. Zimbabwe stands at a critical juncture, grappling with a crippling debt crisis and the urgent need for economic restructuring. The recent payment of $3.1 million, £2.3 million, to 378 farmers represents the first installment of a $3.5 billion compensation package, a commitment stemming from a 2020 agreement. This payment marks a significant, albeit small, step towards resolving a legacy of land seizures that continues to haunt the nation's economic prospects. The land seizures, initiated under Robert Mugabe's regime between 2000 and 2008, involved the forceful acquisition of over 4,000 farms, predominantly owned by white farmers. This controversial land redistribution program, justified as restitution for historical injustices stemming from British colonial rule, ultimately resulted in a catastrophic decline in agricultural production. The program, far from achieving its stated goals of empowering black farmers, saw approximately 40% of the 14 million hectares confiscated by Mugabe and his associates, according to a 2010 report. This blatant self-enrichment decimated agricultural output, a sector that once contributed 40% of Zimbabwe's exports, triggering a devastating economic collapse. Hyperinflation spiraled to an astronomical 500 billion% in 2008, leaving the nation in ruins. The consequences of this reckless land grab extend far beyond the agricultural sector. Zimbabwe's economic devastation has led to a chronic inability to access vital international funding. The country has been in arrears to both the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, since 2000 and 2001, respectively, severely limiting its access to much-needed financial assistance. Late last year, government debt reached a staggering $21 billion, with roughly half comprising arrears and penalties, a crippling burden that hinders any possibility of genuine economic recovery. The government's recent compensation payments, while a necessary component of debt restructuring and securing a potential IMF program, have been met with skepticism. Professor Tony Hawkins, a retired University of Zimbabwe economics professor, dismisses the payments as a mere publicity stunt. His skepticism is rooted in the significant hurdles that remain in securing the international financial support necessary for a sustainable recovery. A critical obstacle lies in the United States' position, governed by legislation that restricts U.S. support for multilateral financing to Zimbabwe until concrete governance and economic reforms are implemented. The U.S. State Department explicitly outlines this condition, highlighting the significant political and economic reform challenges that Zimbabwe must overcome. The path to economic recovery is undeniably arduous and fraught with complexities. While the compensation payments represent a crucial step towards addressing past injustices and potentially unlocking future funding, genuine progress hinges on far-reaching reforms. These reforms must address not only land tenure issues, but also encompass broader governance improvements, tackling corruption and fostering a transparent and accountable environment conducive to foreign investment. Only through substantial and sustainable reforms can Zimbabwe hope to break free from the shackles of its past and pave a path towards genuine economic prosperity. The road ahead is long, demanding significant political will and a concerted effort to implement meaningful and lasting change. The question remains, will the current government demonstrate the commitment necessary to overcome these challenges, or will this latest payment remain merely a symbolic gesture, failing to address the deep-seated issues that continue to plague the nation? The international community will be watching closely to assess Zimbabwe's commitment to genuine reform and its ability to build a sustainable and prosperous future. The stakes are undeniably high.